Well, a major accomplishment was achieved this week. Somehow, a mystery to me, I managed to get back into my Facebook account where my friends all were. This brings me great joy. Anyway, time for another one of the infamous Dimmitt stories, Believe It or Don't. I want to talk a little bit about a week in Roseburg back in the 70s when UFOs were spotted throughout the city, lights flashing across the sky. A lot of strange things happened, and this video is going to be done in two parts. The first part is leading up to this day that the UFO left the ridge and came down towards a group of people in front of a tavern. I think it was in Looking Glass, if I recall. Anyway, I had seen some of these lights. One of the early confusions was a car pulling into its driveway with a bug light. And I saw white lights. I saw a circling thing with red lights circle the blue light, and after a big search climbing up a hill, I realized that the fog in Roseburg made the top of the hill invisible, and what the UFO actually turned out to be was a car pulling into its driveway. So, no story there, nothing to look at here. The next thing that happened, we had a police scanner, and this all centers around this tavern. And on the police scanner, I hear this frantic policeman saying, "My God, it's heading right for us. We're all going to die," something to that effect. That got my attention, and I jumped in the car, fearless as I was when I was younger, and headed towards the disaster that was occurring there. When I arrived, there was a crowd of people, and I started talking to them, and what they described to me was a triangular-shaped object on top of the hill, and what appeared to be a group of people with flashlights wandering around on the ground. And then suddenly, this thing, without warning, no honking of a horn or anything, lifted off the ground, and all the people with flashlights were gone. And it made a kind of a drop down and headed right alongside the telephone wires, equal to the telephone wires, towards the crowd of people at the tavern. I was talking to a number of them, and they all pretty much described the same thing, seeing the flashlights and what appeared to be people wandering around with the flashlights. And then they disappeared into this triangular thing that lifted off the hill and then came down onto the road and headed straight for them, and that's where the panic ensued. So, I talked to a few of the people. One guy staggered out of the tavern, and he asked if he could use my binoculars. And I said, "Yes, you may use my binoculars." So he's now got the binoculars to his face, and they're upside down, and he's looking through the wrong side. And he is looking at a street light. And he says to me, "My God, I was in the Army Observation Corps for 20 years. I have never seen anything as terrifying as that. This is trouble." I said, "Give me back my glasses." So he gave me back the glasses, and I decided I'd have it talking to him. The next thing I saw Sam, a good friend of mine who was a deputy sheriff, and Sam said to me, "Jared, did you hear that message on the scanner?" And I said, yes, I did." He said, "Man, I heard that. I jumped in the car, And I'm heading out at 80 miles an hour, the red lights flashing, the siren blaring. And he said, then I'm thinking, and I think to myself, what am I going to do when I get to the tavern? Am I going to jump out of the car, point my gun at this strange craft, and say, freeze, police? So he said, I then slowed down to about 10 miles an hour, turned off the red lights and the siren, and proceeded cautiously to the scene. I said, I can understand that, because I saw War of the Worlds. Those were a couple of the stories, and there's one other I'll tell you quickly. Actually, no, I'll wait and do that on another video, letting you stay in suspense of one of the many mysteries that occurred when I was a TV reporter in Roseburg, Oregon. Now, if you will, excuse me. I mean, I'm going away. I'm going to be gone. I got to stop this video.